We'll get back to hormones, but I just want to have you thinking more holistically. We are not just like machines and robots walking around on Earth. We are connected, like we are in the world. We have a sun, we have a moon, we have flowers and animals, and God has given us examples in nature where there are many cycles. Cycles are part of life. Cycles are the nature of God. So we have seasonal cycles, we have day and night cycles, and we have, even the moon has its own cycles. We have life cycles with animals. Cycles are just a way of God displaying his faithfulness. Okay, so now we'll connect the two. So hormonal cycles happen with women, we know that, but they also happen with men. Now men are solar. They have a 24-hour cycle. They have high testosterone in the morning, low testosterone at night. And then they get to start over the next day. Easy, right? Women, not so much. Women are lunar. We have a 28-day cycle. It's more like the moon. In fact, in ancestral times, when people were more connected to the earth, and if you go to tribes that are less modernized as we are, they still cycle with the moon. And so it's our way of cycling our body. We have more hormones than men. We have a cycle that we go through all 28 days. Now, menstruation, in terms of health, is actually a detoxification process of the body. This is fun, any fluid that comes out of your body is a detox of the body. Sweat, crying, obviously going to the bathroom, but your menstrual cycle is a detox. So it's very important that you are detoxing, but it's also a biomarker of your overall health. So you can know your cycle and its regularity. If you have pain, the duration of your bleeding, the color of your bleeding, can all give you, it's the way that the body is communicating to you about your overall health. Same with men. Any fluid that comes out of the body is a detox. So the menstrual cycle is a detoxification of excess hormones because you're not making a baby. So those hormones need to leave the body, and it's other fluids that just need to come out. And it's a very normal thing, and it's a good thing. We are going to think of your 4 phases as seasons of the year that you're going to experience with your energy. And this has been like mind-blowing to me. And it's been so helpful for me to understand my energy and also to plan my life around my cycle. Because there will be days you think, why did I plan that 2 weeks ago? Because you were probably in a certain phase where you felt like, hey, I can take on the world. Well, 2 weeks later, you don't. Your energy has dipped because your hormones are cycling. Okay, basically think of it this way. We all know when we're menstruating. That's pretty obvious. Now, and that's going to be your winter. That's the red. So you think of winter time as a time to kind of pull away and to hide out and to rest. You're not out harvesting. You're not out planting crops. You're hiding out at home. Okay, that's going to be your menstrual cycle. That's your energy level. You are laying low. Next is your follicular. It's your spring. Your energy is rising. You're starting to be like, oh, I love this time of year. And then you have your ovulation, and this is when your energy is peaked. Estrogen is the highest. You just feel like you're going to conquer the world, and you make all these commitments, right? Then things start to dip a little bit. Progesterone is rising, and you have the fall phase. Your body's getting ready to either detox or make a baby. So next one. Yes, so this is kind of more technical. You can find this anywhere online. But what I want you to look at is the top. Those are your main hormones that are fluctuating through the month. Your estrogen is going to be really high during those 2 days of ovulation down at the bottom, the green. Basically day 14, they say, is about when you're ovulating. Not everybody is exactly, so that's why it's good to really track your body signals that it's giving you to know exactly when you are ovulating. If you get really in touch with your cycle, you will know because you will be very happy. So, however, right after that, during the blue, your progesterone is higher, and you might feel a little more moody, a little more irritable, and it's natural. So it's understanding that we are not men, and then they just have that 24-hour cycle and they can just get back at it the next day. It's the same all month long for them. It's just not that for us. If we're cycling, you will have, your energy is different all through the month. And it's beautiful. It really is. God designed us that way. Okay, so when we think about your menstruation time, like I said, it's like winter, okay? It is the time to rest. Don't feel guilty about resting. If you feel like I need to sit on the couch, I need to sleep in, I need to not cook, those are the days to embrace that time. It is a time for you to focus on doing things by yourself. You set your goals. Just kind of sit back. Estrogen and progesterone are at their lowest. You're going to feel more tired, a little more touchy, right? But take that time. As far as exercise goes, women can't exercise the same every day of the month either. So during menstruation, it should be more restful. Do some yoga, some light stretching, maybe a light walk. Movement is good. Like we talked about fluids, but sometimes the fluids get a little stuck. You gotta get them moving. So movement gets the fluids moving, which helps you detox faster. If you are not detoxing very fast, you're going to feel crummy. So movement, but I'm not saying you have to do like extreme workouts, especially during menstruation. Just do a little movement, okay? So then the next one, this is where you can play that video. So there's this is social media, autoimmune awareness, I think, yeah.
Rainbow, color of period blood and what it means.
Yeah. Go ahead, yeah, this is the different colors.
Masterclass part 3 where I teach you all about female health in about 60 seconds. Dark brown blood or thick brown discharge. A lot of times women will see this at the beginning or end of their period, and it's a sign that their endometrium isn't shedding properly. This is old blood that's oxidized and turned brown. Could be a sign that you're not keeping your uterus warm enough to allow a healthy flow. Or if you have brown blood your entire period, this is a sign of low progesterone. It's related to shorter luteal phases, irregular cycles, mid-cycle spotting, bloating, anxiety, and trouble sleeping. Dark purple or blue period blood, usually with clots and clumps in it, is a sign that your estrogen is too high in proportion to progesterone. It can result in heavy periods, usually longer than 7 days, painful periods, cyclical migraines, bigger mood swings, and depression. Pink period blood, often associated with watery and thin blood, a sign of low estrogen. If estrogen is too low, it's not able to properly build your uterine lining to have a healthy period. Many times you'll have a really short, light period. Symptoms of low estrogen is low libido, fatigue, vaginal dryness, dry skin, and tender breasts. Orange period blood can be a sign of infection. Itching, burning, a lot of discomfort, and probably a bad smell. You'll definitely want to see a gynecologist. Bright red blood, this is what we want. Because your hormones are balanced, you have a healthy flow, there's no clots and clumps. It's a really good report card that your body is healthy. Because that's what your period is. It's a report card for your overall health.
Okay. Dark purple is when it's been oxidized, so it's an older blood. And I believe she said it was when you have low progesterone. I have to look that up again. Anybody get that? Oh, it was fast. Yeah. The takeaway from that is understanding the basic hormones that your body uses and needs to make. Sometimes your body doesn't have the basic tools to even make the hormones. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you might be low in some, you might be high in some. there's reasons for that too. It can fluctuate, but keeping an eye on colors is important. If you look up autoimmune awareness for all on Instagram, even if you just did a Google search on that, you can find that video again, and they've got some great resources. So yes, next is springtime. Your energy starts to rise. You've just come out of your menstrual cycle. You are motivated. This is a time to be social, make plans with friends, start a new project, do more cardio, Pilates, strength train. I used to run like half marathons and stuff, and I've had to learn like all of that is wonderful, but sometimes it's not great for your hormones. So just be sensitive to that. But this is a time where energy is rising and you can be more active and you feel great. Okay. The next one is when you're ovulating. This is your peak energy, and you feel really connected to people. When people look at you, you don't get offended as easily, right? You have high confidence. And you feel very magnetic and just super energetic, and you make all these plans for 2 weeks later, and you probably shouldn't. And this is also a time to initiate an intimacy, because we all know there's times you don't feel like it, right? This is the time to do it. Plan some public speaking. Do your most intense workouts during this time, because you're going to feel amazing. And so do all your strength training, your HIIT, all that. Go for long runs, whatever. And then luteal. You're going to start slowing down. And this is a little bit of a longer trek in the month, typically. Okay, so this is when progesterone is rising, and sometimes you need different foods to support progesterone. Okay, you're gonna feel focused, but maybe a little more irritable. So this is a good time to kind of think about more self-care. I like to find music. I like to go for walks by myself, whatever you can do. So yeah, do some more yoga, some lower intensity. Finish up those tasks. Know that, hey, I'm gonna need to wrap this up and just take a little pause from this, or just make sure you're not over-committing yourself during that time. Okay, and then, so we'll start first with some lifestyle habits, because lifestyle is huge. It really is. And the older I get, the more I really appreciate that. When I was, younger with less kids, I was very ambitious. And I could sacrifice some sleep. I didn't realize I was paying for it and my mood was paying for it. But lifestyle habits, and we'll talk about some nutritional ways to support. So number one, stress. We really have to recognize that we have a very fast-paced society that doesn't appreciate our need for slowness and for times of reflection and just times of just not overcommitting ourselves. But there are other things that do cause us stress that doesn't maybe feel like that kind of stress. Things like caffeine depletes the body. Now I drink caffeine, I drink coffee, but I've learned like I have to stop. I can't drink this much. I absolutely stop by noon. Caffeine has a 5-hour half-life. So that means if your last cup is at noon, it is still in your system at 10 p.m. So just keep that in mind. If you're trying to sleep and you're still drinking caffeine in the afternoon, that's probably one thing to try. Artificial lights, they are stressful on the body. I know it doesn't seem like it, but natural light is necessary for the body. We have a large percentage of water, and light, we need the light to help with the water. It's called structuring the water in your body. Natural light does that. So get outside. Dieting can be really stressful. I think that's me, sorry. So dieting can be really stressful because hormones need bare essentials. I'll try to wrap it up real quick. Toxic burden, we just live in a very toxic society. Toxic burden just means that we're putting things into our body that aren't useful. So it doesn't have to be like toxic chemicals necessarily, but anything that we put into our body that isn't useful by the body is toxic. So we have all kinds of things in our food system, in our makeup, in our environment, and that's a burden on the body, and it gives more work on the body. getting into the sun, getting sleep. Sleep regulates hormones. Your mindset, when you are giving gratitude and forgiveness. And then, like I said, movement. So some basic nutritional things next. Sugar, it's not helpful. Like I said, no judgment here, but just know the more you can get out of your life, the better. It's not helpful. It's technically a toxin because the body can't do anything with it, and it just plugs you up and it makes you inefficient. All those things, like I said, we don't have a lot of time to go into it. It could be a whole talk, but if you want to know more, these books are great. There's a whole chapter in this book on hormones and how they work and what you need to make them. Ladies, we need fat. Hormones are made with fat. If you don't have the bare tools to make something in your body doesn't have it. So if you are not having a cycle at all, it means that your body doesn't have the basic tools to make it. So we need fat. It's just how it is. We also need cholesterol. Every cell in your body has cholesterol. So butter, eggs, yogurt is great. Has some probiotics in it. Good for your gut health. We could do a whole talk on liver. Now, ancestrally, there are traditions all over the world that prepare a woman's body for 2 years before she has a baby. And sacred foods, liver is a sacred food because it has, we can take supplements and we can go say, what's the perfect supplement to take? Liver has everything in it and the amount that you need, because some vitamins need other vitamins, they need their buddies, and liver is perfect. Your body can't overdose on it. So if you are thinking about having a child, or if you have some menstrual cycle issues, just research, look into organ meats, and liver is the king. So there are supplements you can take. Personally, I just take the real thing. And we can talk more about that too, but we gotta get through our slides. Okay, these were just, do I have a couple minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, I know I'm going over, but I wanted to...
Like 10 more minutes, maybe would be just fine.
Perfect, okay, well we'll speed through these. These were some questions that you guys gave me that I wanted to just make sure that we at least touch on them a little bit. And again, if you have more questions, I'm happy to talk. I do one-on-one coaching if you really feel like you need someone that kind of helps you individually. But one person asked, he said, I have very irregular cycles, almost none my entire life, diagnosed with PCOS. Is this something that may be regulated with diet? And I can say, again, I'm not a doctor, but from what I've learned through GAPS, we still meet regularly. I meet with coaches and practitioners tomorrow. They're literally from all over the world. We talk about these things all the time. Yes, like I said, if your body doesn't have the tools, it can't make the things that it needs to make. Hormones are something that it makes. Your cells regenerate, your bones regenerate. If you get a cut on your arm, your body knows how to heal it. It is harder to heal when you don't have the bare tools, the nutrients, the vitamins, the fats to do it. So yes, and tracking your cycle, like I said, we've got the tools. I do have charts here that you guys can take one. I just copied it out of the book, but if you want to learn how to chart your cycle, that's the chart there. To track your ovulation. Does everybody understand that you ovulate 1 to 2, maybe 3 days out of the month? And those are the days that you can get pregnant. The rest of the days you can't. So there are very specific ways of learning how you ovulate and when you're ovulating. It's typically on day 14 of your cycle. So day 1 of your cycle is your first day of bleed. So that's day 1. Okay? And some people bleed, 3 or 4 days, some people bleed longer. The bleed is directly linked to your detoxification. So the more detoxing your body is doing, the more you're going to bleed. The less detox that you have, the less you'll bleed. Any information on how it relates to thyroid function, Yes, thyroid is one of the organs that makes hormones. Some people have hyperthyroidism, some people have hypo. It's all related to gut health. So, but it can be a process, and the best way you can support it, if you take one thing that you're gonna do with your eating is fat. I have butter. I'm gonna send home butter with somebody today. So, ladies, add butter to everything. Real butter, not the fake stuff. Add butter to everything. You will feel good. You will not get fat. You will not. It's necessary. In the 90s, the whole no-fat thing was really popular, and I think now we're paying the price for it with our health because everybody's so deficient, and we just need it. We need it for our hormones. So fasting, yes, fasting is great. I think it's very healthy to do. It's obviously something that God talked about doing. And but there are certain times in the month that are better for you to do them. Certainly don't do them when you're menstruating or right before you're menstruating, because that's when your body is hungry and is needing more support. So the best time to do it, what do you think?
Summer.
Yeah, spring and summer. And you know, when fasting is something I've been doing. In fact, I fasted yesterday for 21 hours. It's something I've learned, because you have to work up to it. You can't just jump into a 24-hour fast, but I think it's great to do it. I do it once a month, just for one day, up to 24 hours. I haven't done more than that, because I'm not there yet. But I think it's great. Even if you can just do, if you're doing intermittent fasting, do not skip the morning. If you're gonna skip in the evening, your digestive system shuts down at night. It wants to sleep. So you don't want to eat late at night. So if you're gonna fast, feed your body early, right away in the morning, and then fast at night, if you're gonna do that. So the next one was, my period is every 27 days, lasts for exactly 7 days with 1.5 day break in the middle. This has been consistent for years. Is this normal? What's normal for you? But everything your body does, like I said, is a message. And so I would have a lot of other questions about this. I would, number one, look at what you're eating during that time. But I wouldn't get freaked out. But I would just do some journaling, some food journaling, some sleep journaling, and just kind of track what's going on during that time. What's your stress like during that time? Because there's a lot of things that can be at play. Why would a regular cycle begin shortening? 23 days, 21 days, 20 days. It's definitely a hormonal issue, right? I would want to see what have you been eating? What is your stress like? It's kind of all the same stuff. It's very basic, but need to be recognizing. Read the signals, read the information the body is giving you. Tips on getting through perimenopause. Weight gain, other symptoms, struggles are real. Weight gain is usually high cortisol, which is a stress hormone. So stress, is a big one. Perimenopause, of course I'm getting close to that, so I've been learning. Menopause is 1 day of your life. Perimenopause is the process until you get to menopause. Menopause is when you have not had a cycle for 12 months consecutively. So some people can go through perimenopause for years, where they'll have a cycle and then not have one for a couple months, and then have a cycle and not have one for a few months. So it can feel like this, right? But it's also a biomarker. How people complain about different things with perimenopause. But again, supporting hormonal health will help get through that period, and everybody's very different. But just remember, menopause is 1 day of your life. When you've come to the 12th month without a period, that is your menopause, and celebrate. Okay, where to start with the information? I give you on the next slide a lot of information. I'm sending home stuff with you guys. I'm a resource, find me. I'm on social media, but I'm gonna give this away first. A little bucket. Jessica. Okay. Next one. This is Wise Traditions is catalog is also a podcast put up by the Western Christ Foundation. And this is an older one. This is the winter of 21. But I thought this was kind of cool because RFK was a speaker at the conference that year, and he's actually in here. And I'm a fan of his. So. Teresa.
I know her.
Okay. Next, butter. This is my favorite.
Carrie Gold. We love it.
Okay, this is gonna blow your mind. But in GAPS, we tell people you need to eat a stick or butter a day. Like, seriously, ladies, sometimes more. Okay? So, you can't start there. You gotta work up. I'm working on it. It's a good habit, though. It's a fun hobby. Winter.
Oh, yay.
Oh.
I'll give it to you, I promise.
Brittany. Parker. Okay, and I don't know if I have enough of these, so I apologize. But this is just the timeless principles of traditional diets. It kind of is for the wise traditions, just some of the principles that they teach about nutrition. So you can take one and pass. Okay, well, thank you again. Yes, question. Yeah.
Are we okay for questions, guys? So before, like right before I start my period, my sugar cravings are out of control.
Yeah.
Like I cannot, short of like zip tying my hands together. Honestly, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming increasing fat during that time, or is there like,
Yeah.
can you talk a little bit about what would
Yes.
help with that?
Yeah, your body has more needs because it's going to be doing a big process. Yeah. Whenever you get a sugar craving, that's a signal that you have a blood sugar dip. Yeah, fat. Fat will solve it every time.
So what's your go-to, like, can you give us like a few go-to, like,
Mhm.
quick,
Yeah.
we're like in craving sugar, what should we reach for?
Yeah. My go-to every day is dates and butter.
Okay.
So I grab a date, the good ones, guys. Like, dude, I order, yeah. Order them on Amazon. I get like a 5-pound box every month. And do not be shy on the butter with that. But seriously though, what we teach in GAPS, and I have a 30-day no sugar, but what the number one thing that you can do is just get some butter and some honey. Honey is good, honey is fine. Equal parts butter, equal parts honey, mix them in a jar, and just snack on that. Honey butter.
Ooh, honey butter dates.
You can mix it up if you want to add some cinnamon, if you want to add some, I do, like, I'll squeeze lemon in there to get like a honey lemon butter and mix that up. In the fall, I do a little pumpkin with cinnamon and butter. But yeah,
You literally like take a spoonful?
yep, shamelessly.
Yes.
Would avocados be good then too?
Avocados are great, but they're not butter. So that's a good question though, because we're so confused about fats. But we have to understand animal fats and animal proteins are not the same as plant proteins. We are animals. Our cells are different, and our needs are, carnivore is a huge thing, and it's seen a lot of really good, people are saying a lot of good things about it. Plants are great. We kind of classify foods in GAPS in two things. You have building foods that build the body and repair it, and that's animal foods. Your meats, your butters, your eggs, So when you have healing, or you've had, broke something, or you've had a baby, you need building foods. You need to rebuild the body. Plants are cleansing foods. The human body cannot digest plant matter. It's a fact. We have hydrochloric acid in our stomach. We can't break down the fiber. It's our gut microbiome that breaks it down. It's all the microbes. Anyway, so plants cleanse us. They clean us when we eat them. So salads are great, but like I said, they're not going to build hormones. They're not going to create, rebuild things in the body. So we really need the animal foods, plant foods. Like right now, it's becoming a new season, so it's a good time to start eating those herbs and eating those salads again. Wintertime, it's not a seasonal food, so wintertime is a building kind of time, but we teach that in GAPS too, seasonal eating. Yeah.
Sorry, one more question. Can you talk about what your preferred animal meat is? Like, do you prefer chicken? Do you prefer beef? Or is there a difference?
So it's different person to person. There's not a right or wrong answer, but it's important to look at what the animal's eating, because that becomes us too. And every person is a little different. Some people can't stand chicken. There's nothing wrong with that. Some people can't stand beef, and that changes over time. But a short answer, it doesn't matter. Eat it all. No discrimination. Yeah.
So I have been recommended or taught maybe to have more frequent small meals throughout the day to be able to eat enough and consume enough instead of 3 square meals a day. Is that something that you would agree with and recommend?
So what she asked is, she was told to eat more regularly through the day rather than 3 whole meals. Short answer, yeah. Again, everybody's really different. If you struggle with stress, then eating regularly is going to be important. The body can be in a stressful state, and when you are not eating regularly, it just keeps the body stressed. So eating regularly helps with stress, helps with regulating blood sugar, all those things. I would just say, if in general, because we are natural beings, eat during the day when it's light out. If it's dark out, don't eat. That's kind of the simple way to think of it. Yeah.
I have a really specific question. My 2 daughters are 2 and 3, and they are obsessed with edamame beans, and they want to eat them every single day. My gut is telling me not to give them to them all the time. Is that the correct answer? Yeah.
Yeah. So edamame is soy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So soy is tricky.
Yeah.
But in general, we do know soy. Soy is just, it's not what it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm guessing, is it a little sweet?
No, I just give them the frozen plain one.
But
I don't know
so
if it's
starchy things they're still translated as sugar in the body.
Yeah.
So that's probably that. They know it's going to give them fast energy.
Okay.
And not I would just, instead of thinking of subtracting, think about adding.
Okay.
What can I add in that might not?
Butter.
Yeah.
Butter with the
Just give them some butter with their edamame.
They
And slowly
love
take
steak,
an
and they
edamame
always
away.
want steak and edamame
Yeah, give them
every
steak.
night. And I give them steak all the time, but they're like, you want edamame beans?
See if they like the stick of love.
It's the popping. Do you
Sometimes I give them
give them
peas.
There you go,
shell?
maybe texture thing. Yeah,
The
I think
popping,
peas.
I think.
It's because it's on Bluey is why they like it.
Oh.
But
That makes
I know they're
sense.
higher in protein, so my husband was like, oh, we'll buy them, see if they like them.
Yeah.
Of course, they love them.
Yeah. And again, plant protein,
Yeah.
but it's not animal protein.
Right.
Yeah. And the more we learn about proteins with plants, we know that they're a problem. Gluten is the most studied plant protein, and we know that's a problem. So, yeah. Any other questions? Sorry, I went really long.
I do have one.
Okay.
And this isn't really what this is about, but do you have tips or resources on talking to your daughter about their cycles when they get to that age?
Yeah, it's not a one conversation.
Yeah.
So with my daughter, and she's 18, my oldest anyway is 18, But I have started talking to Amelia, and she's 9. Just a little bit as they're interested, follow their interest. And then for my daughter, it's tricky. Like, there are just times she's not going to talk to me. But when she's talking, like, yeah, and she doesn't always want to hear me, but so I have to do little things here and there. Because, listen, guys, we are not perfect. We don't eat perfect, and I have teenagers and they eat what they want. But, yeah, just asking questions maybe. And I have had really great conversations with my daughter about her friends and the concerns that they have. They have very, very challenging cycles. Some of them, she has one friend that has a continuous, like, doesn't stop bleeding. Like, there's girls with issues, and she's curious. So I guess I just throw out a couple things here and there, and then she'll know it's just a conversation I'm open to. And when she wants to, she'll come to me.
I've also thought it's important to talk to our boys about it. Like,
Yeah.
I've read a lot about that where
Yeah.
I want my boy to be the one that isn't going to embarrass the girl,
Yeah.
but is the one that's going to
No.
help her if.
Yeah, I've talked to my boys. Before my son got married, I talked to him and said, listen,
You got it covered.
you need to know this. So he understands what a cycle is. All my older boys do. It's awkward, but I mean, it's awkward, but whatever. Life is awkward, yeah. Thank you guys.
Thank